Miriam?
Eli, what is it?
I need to go outside, but it's too dark. What if something's out there?
Eli, you know there's nothing there. I used to feel the same way when I was younger.
You were scared too?
Yes, and so was someone else. Someone from the Bible who was afraid of the night, of enemies, of everything.
The Adventures of Miriam and Eli.
A long time ago, in the land of Israel, people were hiding in caves and mountains because they were afraid of the Midianites. The Midianites were strong and powerful people, but instead of being kind, they were mean. They took food, animals, and everything the Israelites worked hard for. Every time the Israelites planted crops, the Midianites would come and steal them. But there was one man who was hiding, just like them. His name was Gideon. Gideon was hiding in a winepress, secretly threshing wheat. Usually, wheat was threshed in the open, but he was afraid of the Midianites, so he did it in a winepress where people crushed grapes for juice. Then something unexpected happened. A bright angel suddenly appears under a tree. Gideon jumps in shock.
"The Lord is with you, mighty warrior."
Me? I'm not a warrior. I'm the weakest in my family.
Gideon didn't believe he was strong enough to save Israel, but God had a plan. Gideon wanted proof that God was really with him. So he prayed, "God, if you are really going to help me, make this fleece wet in the morning, but keep the ground dry." Very early the next morning, Gideon stepped outside. He walked to the fleece he had laid on the ground the night before. And that's exactly what happened. The fleece was wet and the ground was dry, but Gideon was still unsure. So he prayed again. This time, make the fleece dry and the ground wet. Very early the next morning, Gideon stepped outside again. This time the fleece was completely dry, but the ground was covered in dew. Gideon knew for sure God was with him. Gideon was finally ready to fight the Midianites. He gathered a huge army. God spoke to Gideon, "That is too many men. If Israel wins with this army, they might think they won by their own strength instead of knowing that I saved them. Send the soldiers who are afraid back home." Gideon stands before his army of 32,000 men, looking at their determined but nervous faces.
If anyone is afraid, you may leave and go home.
22,000 men walked away. Gideon was left with 10,000 men, and God said,
"There are still too many men. Take them down to the water, and I will test them for you."
Gideon led them down to the water and watched as they began to drink. Some men knelt down to drink the water from the stream, but others stayed alert. They scooped the water up with their hands and drank while keeping their eyes on their surroundings. Then God spoke to Gideon.
"Keep only the 300 men who drank from their hands. Send the rest home."
That's it, just 300 men against a huge army. But with God, that was enough. Then God told Gideon something unexpected. He didn't ask the men to carry sword or shields. Instead, God told Gideon that his men should go to war with a torch and a jar. Gideon trusted God and followed his plan. Gideon's 300 men stand on a hill at night, holding torches inside clay jars and trumpets. Gideon blows his trumpet. Instantly, 300 trumpets explode in unison, blasting through the valley. Their echoes rolling like thunder off the mountains. The soldiers smash their clay jars. Shards scatter, firelight bursts into the darkness, and 300 torches blaze like a ring of fire around the Midianite camp. The Midianite army turn on each other, unable to see clearly in the confusion, thinking the enemy has already invaded their camp. Gideon's 300 men stand firm, their torches burning bright, their trumpets still sounding victory through the hills. Without lifting a single sword, God had won the battle for them. Sometimes we all feel afraid, but just like Gideon, we can remember, God is with us. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more Christian stories with Miriam and Eli.
The Adventures of Miriam and Eli.
The song together. Clap your hands and sing along.
When you're scared and feel so small, Jesus is with you through it all. He'll help you stand and calm the storm. With His love, you're safe and warm. When you're scared and feel so small, Jesus is with you through it all. He'll help you stand and calm the storm. With His love, you're safe and warm. When you're scared and feel so small, Jesus is with you through it all. He'll help you stand and calm the storm. With His love, you're safe and warm. Feel so small, Jesus is with you through it all. He'll help you stand and calm the storm. With His love, you're safe and warm. When you're scared and feel so small, Jesus is with you through it all. He'll help you stand and calm the storm. With His love, you're safe and warm. With His love, you're safe and warm. When you're scared and feel so small, Jesus is with you through it all. He'll help you stand and calm the storm. With His love, you're safe and warm. With His love, you're safe and warm. When you're scared and feel so small, Jesus is with you through it all. Oh, oh, oh. He'll help you stand and calm the storm. With His love, you're safe and warm. With His love, you're safe and warm.
Remember, it's okay to feel afraid sometimes, but just like Peter, we can always trust that Jesus is with us and will help us when we are scared.